What's up everybody, Gabe Spencer, the Scattered Chef. Today, out of the kitchen, out in the field, been blasting some ducks out here, and I got to thinking, I need to show you guys exactly what to do to process one of these birds the right way, where you can use it with all the recipes that I've been showing you guys for the past few months. So let's jump into this. All right, so only a couple tools needed for this. Just a good knife. This is a Williams knife, love them. Definitely check those guys out. And just a regular propane torch. I use the torch to burn off all the little pin feathers because I like to keep the ducks with the skin on and the fat on. I don't like to breast them out unless they're just kind of maybe too shot up a little bit. Because if you breast them out and just kind of, leave the skin off, it's like cutting the fat off a ribeye, and you just really don't want to do that. So let's jump to it, show you guys exactly what we're gonna do to break these birds down. Okay, so I like to use some gloves, a couple reasons. Keeps the blood off my hands. Also, it's gonna help me grip these feathers a lot better. So as I pull this, I'm gonna pull against the grain. You can pull with the grain too, they'll still come out. Just get all these off of here, pulling all these feathers off. And there's a couple critical spots that you really wanna make sure that you pluck. One is up here, right above their wing joint. Wanna make sure to get that really good. And then I would call it the armpit, or the wing pit. This spot right here is what gets me the most, or it gets most people the most, because when you cut this breast meat off, if you don't pluck far enough down, you're gonna get a little bit of feather and a little bit of that down still connected to the meat. So we wanna pluck that all the way down. And then on these mallards, I like to keep the legs and thighs on there, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. You guys saw that video that I did where I left the paddler, left the foot on there, right? So I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do that. I'm not super concerned with right here around this spot, around his ankle. I'll show you why in a minute. I wanna make sure that I'm getting way up on this thigh here. We're gonna get the other side. And you can take a pair of shears and you can cut these wings off. That kind of makes it a little easier. I don't have a pair of shears with me. But again, we're gonna make sure we get up all in this wing pit here, armpit. Another thing is really important to do is to make sure you keep your birds dry. Don't let these birds sit in the water while you're hunting. Make sure they're on a strap, head down, always preferable. Because if you get it wet, it's gonna be really hard here in a minute when I singe all this off, if the feathers are just soaked. So keep your birds dry. Okay, so now that I got all that pretty much off of there, we're gonna go ahead and take our torch. Careful not to burn yourself. And we're just gonna torch this down. So I'm getting all in here, singeing all this down, get right around that ankle. Singe this down really well. And you'll notice when you get a little area that you might have missed, just go ahead and pull that off. Singe this down. And then I'll take my glove. There's another reason why I like these gloves, and I'll just kind of dust it off. You can see all those little charred feathers now come off. And then when you process this even more and you go to wash it in the sink at home, it's gonna do really, really well. So, okay. So now that bird's all processed up, it's ready to go. Now let's go ahead and break it down this way. So you'll see his breastbone here. If you just run your knife right along that breastbone, work as close to that bone as you can. Then we're gonna bring it right back down here like this, and it kind of curves around. So I want to cut back that direction. I'm gonna go right back down to that thigh joint, bring this back up this way. Just like this. Now, if you have to transport these birds, make sure to leave an identifiable wing so that old G-Dub knows what type of bird this was. Don't want to get caught doing that. And you can do that, same thing. I can either do one of two things. If I'm at home doing this and they're not going to go any further, I can cut this off. Or if I'm going to leave the wing on, I just break that joint right there, cut down just like this. And then here's gonna be the other joint. Just like that. Now we have it all attached, and I can take the wing off when I get home, and then we're gonna have a great piece of meat. So once I get home, if I cut this off, like that. So now I have the thigh and leg all attached in one. Now it's, I like to soak these things in salt water for maybe a day and rinse them again, and then go ahead and either vacuum seal them or go ahead and cook them and eat them right then. So Gabe Spencer, Scattered Chef, how to process a duck correctly. Hope you guys have great success with this. Let me know some comments, and if you have any questions, shoot them to me. I'd love to answer any questions that you have. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Scattered Chef.